welcome everybody to another Secret Beach Typhoon. Oh, my camera's a little low. Hey everyone, what's going on? Today it is our Typhoon for what month is this? July of 2019. And today we got Nay back. Hello, Nay. What's going on?
Hi, everybody.
All right, so it's so weird when we do the side-by-sides vertical. It's kind of blurry, and then I think when we switch to the horizontals, it ain't so blurry. Not that it matters because I'm going to be off of here in a second. Anyway, but still learning the whole new setup. So,
nice T-shirt there.
Oh, look at that! Somebody designed this for us.
Somebody did.
Y'all get your new Secret Beach T-shirts. Here, let me put myself on as I remove myself from the stream. Navigating the open sea, Secret Beach. Woohoo! So what's going on? What's shaking? How you been?
I'm doing great. Just busy being a mom. I moved. Just a lot of stuff selling on Poshmark, eBay, Depop. I'm expanding my horizons a little bit, and just I'm busy. Normal.
Yep. We all need to expand our horizons. And
yes.
I need to practice what I preach, and that is expanding my horizons.
And I will be twisting your arm to get you on Posh. After this webinar, you need to start.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to step aside, and it's going to be all you. So let me.
And before I start, I just want to tell everybody it's a lot of information. Do not get scared and overwhelmed. You can do it. So don't feel overwhelmed. Poshmark. Once you get started, you'll see that things are not as scary as they look. So
you can do it.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So I got my camera off. I am still here. Should we do it this way or just straight up this way? That's a good question. I'll ask the chat. You like this, or do you like to see Nay talking while she's teaching? So we'll ask the chat, and we'll see what. Like I said, this is all new, and it's going to get a little bit different once I pay. In 2 weeks, I'm going to pay for the paid version of StreamYard. It gives me a little more customizability.
Oh, okay.
So, Nay, where you see powered by StreamYard, you're going to have to work up some little graphics for me because I can put up little graphics in that corner.
Okay.
So while we're waiting for the chat here. Yoo-hoo! Are you looking at Lori's comment? I don't see you looking up.
Thank you, Lori.
All right. Everyone's talking about you, and Scared is my middle name. All right. Want to see Nadine. All right, Christy, you're the definitive answer because no one else. All right. So, all right. There we go. Cool. All right. So we'll leave Nay up there.
Okay.
I'll shut up and let her go.
All right. Let's go now. Okay. So I'm going to be teaching you tips and tricks and info. So this is geared for new poshers, but also if you're already on Poshmark, even if you're a seasoned posher, even if you've been selling for longer than me, I will be giving you some tips that will be useful for everyone. So, okay, and we can get started. So I'm sorry, Jason, Poshmark it's not a Spice Girl. I had to put the Spice Girls humor in there. So it's its own selling platform, which is really it incorporates social media into selling. So it's unique. It's kind of like a combo of Instagram and Facebook and any selling platform. And it's really unique in the fact that what you give back, what you put in social in the social aspect of it, you will get back in sales. So it's very fashion focused for men's, women's, and kids fashion. In the beginning, it was more just women's fashion. Now men's and women's and kids is all over the place. So very big markets. And they also just added a home goods market in Posh. So you can sell, and I'll get a little more into that on what you can sell in the home goods market. So now, right now, Posh is for USA and Canada only. Canada was just newly launched, but Poshmark Poshmark has hinted at going international in the future, and I'll talk a little bit more about that too as we go on. Okay, so next slide. All right, so I am Thrifty Nay on Poshmark. Now, everyone has a discount code, so if you're not signed up for Poshmark and you sign up, you can use my discount code, which is Thrifty Nay, and you'll get $5 off your first purchase with that. So, and I am a Poshmark ambassador. Again, I'll talk a little more about that, but I earned that. It's kind of like the top rated seller on eBay, if you sell on eBay. And I earned that status within just a few months. So I'm proof that you can do it too. I currently have 28K, almost 29,000 followers and 330 something listings. And every day my followers and my listings are growing because I list and get followers every day. I've had 2 host picks. If you don't know what that is, which you probably don't, I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And I sell mostly women's clothing, but I am branching out to men's and other things. And I've only been selling for a year. So this is where my perspective is a little unique. I am not a seasoned posher who's been on the platform since the beginning. I've only been doing this. In fact, my first sale was July 23rd of last year. So literally
1 year, exactly.
Yeah, so literally in 2 days, it's exactly a year since I've had my first sale.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. That
it is,
A
yeah.
year to the day.
So I really just started ramping things up about 6 months ago. I'm not a big player yet. I don't have. I mean, there's people that have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers. I mean, my almost 29,000. That's good, but it's not like I'm not a big player. I'm not making thousands and thousands of dollars yet, but I'm doing really well. So for the short time I've been, so my whole point is that anyone can do this. It does take some time to build up the momentum, and there's a learning curve, but I am proof that it can be done. It can be done fast. So, okay. And, ready for it. Okay. So here's my Poshmark. Now you can have a little banner. I have a little banner that says that I'm an ambassador, and I have a little graphic, welcome to my closet. And I do a discount if people bundle 2 or more items, they will save 15% off. So you can do a little graphic like that. And that's another point that I'll hit later of what to do and what not to do with that. And then you just bump that to the top of your closet. Thank you, John. And then you have a meet your posher thing, and people can comment on your photo and say, welcome to Poshmark or great closet, or, so they can be social in that way. And there's just like some of the items that are at the top of my closet. I try to put the higher end items at the top, like the Gucci and the Brahmin and the Prada, just because those are my high ticket items that I want, to be noticed first and shared. But okay, next. And okay, what I sell, of course, I love women's fashion. Those of you who know anything about me know that that's my favorite thing in the world. I love shoes and women's accessories and women's, just all women's fashion, and I know it well. So I do sell both high-end luxury brands like Prada and Gucci, and mid and lower level trendy brands like even like Forever 21, ASOS, Uniqlo, brands like that. And I sell mostly women's fashion, but I've started to add some trendy men's brand clothing and makeup.
Are Hawaiian shirts trendy?
They can be, yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. And I've recently started to add some makeup. And I just listed my first home goods and jewelry items. I did that for the webinar so that I can say that I have that under my belt. So I haven't sold in those categories yet, but I just listed my first items on there. So don't be afraid to branch out onto different POS markets. Markets are the categories. There's a women's market, there's a men's market, there's a luxury market. Those are like the categories that you can sell in. So, and that's my first jewelry listing. I just put that up, and I'm sharing that now. There's jewelry parties, so I'll share that in the jewelry parties, and I'm gonna I'll be listing more jewelry as time goes on. But I've branched out a little bit, so. And
how much did you pay for that necklace?
I paid $4 for it at a local thrift store, and it's not it's not something that's very, very expensive, but I think it's worth probably. I'm hoping to get like 30 for it. Really.
So real quick, everybody who is watching live, feel free to throw any question up. Nowadays with things like our this new platform, it's so easy to throw the question up there, and even if Nay's in the middle of a thought, when she's done with that thought, then she can pop in and answer the question. So this is just awesome. I love it. But I have a question about this one.
Mm-hmm.
So your pictures are really nice, and I see only 3 there, which I was told I should have 8.
Well, here's the thing with this. There's no markings on it. There's really not much to this. If it had like a marking, it said 14 karat gold or something, I would, of course, put that, zoom in on the stamp. But there's really not much to this. The other picture I could have maybe done is like a model, like modeling on my mannequin or modeling. But
right. So that would be my question. If you had a female mannequin, would you throw it on the neck just to kind of show where?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I probably should do that and put another picture there. But yeah.
So we can do things like this where Gem and Gift says, so you don't take photos on white backgrounds. Hang tight. That's coming
We'll
up.
get to that. Yeah, we will get to that. That's a good question. So, and I threw a couple home goods. IKEA is very big. So I had that IKEA item that I hadn't listed on eBay. You can put coffee mugs, kitchen items. So, I just threw a few home goods items up. I haven't sold any yet, but I've gotten some likes and I've sent out some offers. So, and there's my men's fashion. See, with men's mostly, you can see my brands: Diesel, Theory, Hermes. I have an Hermes tie, Vince, Kangol, Vans Off the Wall. Like they have a wolf print on them, and Coors. That's that's a popular beer brand, or I'm sorry, Corona, not Coors. And so you can see like it's trendy and very brand oriented. So that's what I'm doing with the men's fashion. And okay, so here's what you can sell on Posh. You can sell makeup, women's fashion and accessories like jewelry, shoes, hair, accessories, hats, etc. Barrettes are very big right now. And then the jewelry market is growing. So men's fashion and accessories, kids fashion and accessories, home goods and decor, wholesale items. Now you must be approved to be a wholesale seller. It's kind of like if you sell on Amazon and you're selling brand new with tags goods. And to buy in the wholesale market, you have to have had 10 successful sales and an average of 4.5 stars. So the boutique items, you can sell boutique items that are brand new and have been purchased directly from a distributor, like the Poshmark wholesale market, and they're being sold to the public for the very first time. So they can't be from like a department store, a thrift store. You can't go to Marshall's or something and buy items and call them boutique. So when you have a new tag item, you have the option of clicking boutique, but actually, unless it's being sold to the public for the first time, you are not supposed to do that. So, and next is what can't be. You can't sell, so it's priority mail only, so the priority rules apply. So anything that you can't ship priority, like perfumes, aerosols, nail polish, you can't sell. Electronics and cell phones, DVDs, CDs, sorry, Jason. Cassettes and records, appliances, basically anything that needs to be plugged in. Counterfeit and replica items, of course, you cannot sell. Kids' toys, strollers, bottles, like baby items, like high chairs and all. No. And they have a specific airport and airline related items you can't sell. Threatened and extinct.
Wait, hang on. What do you mean by airport and airline?
Like if you have like a U.S. Airways uniform or something, a sweater that has the U.S. Airways brand on it, you cannot sell that. So anything. So even old ones. It's the specifics say current airline. So I think if you have a TWA sweater that's there's no TWA anymore, you can sell that because it does specify current. So I believe that would be okay. Threatened or extinct species like ivory, you can't sell. Health and wellness products like vitamins, lotions, any of that, serums, any of that kind of thing. Furniture, used makeup and used underwear is a no-no. And items taken off platform. Now, this is a big one because especially new Poshers, you will get offers. I just got one yesterday. People will say, I'm a great buyer. Please just email me at this address. And basically, it's a scam. They're trying to get you off the platform. And a lot of these people don't end up actually paying you or, so don't ever do that. You cannot take a request to take the business off of the platform. So just ignore those and just say, sorry, I sell on Posh only. And that's that. Okay. And okay, so listing on Poshmark. So anybody can list, even Jason can do it. And he's going to show you. So our brand new Posher, Jason, is going to show you some examples of an example of a listing. Now, when he lists, I want you to pay attention to the listing flow. As far as keywords, photos, description, all of that, it is different than it is on eBay and other platforms. There are specific things that you want to do for Poshmark that you don't want to do for other platforms and vice versa. So definitely, pay attention to that. So Jason, you're going to bring up your Poshmark app.
Am I doing it right now?
Yes. Yeah, this is it.
This is it. All right, hold on, because I gotta do a different.
Oh my. Okay. So So thank you everyone for your comments. I can't see all the comments right now, but I've seen some of them, and I appreciate all of the love. And
well, Christy's now following you. So
well, thank you. I appreciate the new followers. Thank you.
All right, so there's that. Okay.
Okay.
Ta-da.
So, Jason, you are going to click on your sell button. See the little the photo icon that says sell in the middle?
At the bottom there?
Now you are going to sell, well, yeah, you can click on that and then.
And then what's my next step?
I am not seeing your screen, your phone screen right now.
Really?
Yeah, really. I'm seeing my keyboard.
No, you're seeing my keyboard because I'm on camera.
Okay. I'm seeing somebody's keyboard.
I was setting you up to say, now click on the folder so you can go to your pictures.
No, you need to go to your app on your phone.
No, I'm on my phone.
What?
That was a live camera, but I switched to folder now.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Now, for whatever reason,
yes,
my app takes forever to get to the photos because we practiced this yesterday. And how many pictures are on your phone? Do you know, Nay?
I have a lot. I probably have a good 20,000 pictures.
All right, I got about 40, so maybe that's why it takes forever for my photos. So
this
I
might have to clear out some of those, but mine is instant. It's like bam, it's up.
Yeah.
there.
So okay, so here's the dress. So let me share the dress real quick that we're showing.
It's actually, isn't it a tank or is it a dress? It is a dress. Okay.
Yep. So there's the dress.
Adorable. Yes.
There's the brand.
For those of you that don't know, Maeve is an Anthropologie brand.
Okay.
So, and it's a popular, there's Anthro brands that sell well and Anthro brands that some sell better than others. Maeve is a really good one. So.
All right. So I got to select all my photos. Yeah.
Now you can add 8 photos. Sometimes that's a little annoying because I need more, because I'm used to the eBay mindset where you have 12 pictures, but you can only put 8 in Posh. Okay, now you can crop them. So you might be able to zoom in a tiny bit on that one, Jason.
I know, it's pretty tight because we shot it square. So there was only that little, oops.
Yeah, I just wanted to show like how you zoom in, like basically.
Yeah, so I just pinched in.
Yeah. So you can crop your photos, make sure that they're all cropped to your liking. And if they're all good, then, and see how Jason has the tag, the care tag, the brand tag. I usually do that. I do a close-up of the graphic. Like he has the pineapple close-up there.
There we go.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. So you want to crop so that things are, it's a tight, so you can see very well.
All right. So now it's doing its magic.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, and hit. So you want that probably as your cover shot.
Ooh, new in theaters.
Okay. Hit next. Now, this is something that I wanted to mention. I do not use the filters. I feel like it's an antiquated thing in the app that Poshmark has left over from the time when they were trying to be more Instagram-like. And really, to me, I don't think that it should be in the app anymore. I don't use it because it distorts. You want to see what you're buying, and the filters distort the image, so they're not showing a true to to the item. They're not showing a picture that's true to the item. So I don't use the filters. That's my opinion there. So I wish they would just get rid of that feature.
So just skip it.
I always just skip it and hit next. Yes. And now your listing details. So your what are you selling? That's where you put your title, your keywords. And what are you selling, Jason? What do you think that you should add?
So I'm assuming you lead with a brand.
Yes, you always lead with the brand. And there's a secondary brand here too.
All right, so Maeve.
And it is an anthropology. So you're going to put anthropology next.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, do you call this, it's like a soft, like almost like a t-shirt material. Do you call this
it is a dress, right?
Yeah.
So it's called a t-shirt dress, actually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then just
pineapple. Is that sequined or beaded?
Yes, both.
Okay, so you want to put sequined or beaded pineapple.
So we're gonna run out of room here.
Yeah, don't have as many keywords as you have on eBay. So I think there's like 50 here. So you do want to condense your put the most pertinent things about your item and your keywords.
So I could put sequin.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because that's the end of it. So yeah, much
Yeah,
shorter title than eBay.
Yes, it does. And so what else would you think that you should put in the title, Jason?
Well, I can't fit anything else, so I think I'm good.
Normally, what would you want to put in the title?
Well, no, we don't need to do size, right? Because normally you do size, and normally you do
size and color. Thank you.
Color and
yeah, that's what I was trying to get you to say.
Sorry.
So yes, normally you would do size and color. That's a waste of keywords in Poshmark. If you have something that's like a periwinkle blue or a teal or something that's more of like a mauve, I would put those kind of colors in, but I do not put color or size. The other exception with size is if you have something that's like a 20, like a plus size and it's a 20, or, you know, like if there's a size that's not in the specific, something like that. But normally I will not put size and not put color because those are wasted keywords. So you go down to your category, Jason, before you do description.
What, before I do description? Okay.
Yeah, go to your category. So you're going to put dresses.
Okay.
Okay. And I would say that this is a midi because it's not a mini because it's not above knee. It's kind of like to the knee or a little below, right?
This isn't a prom dress?
No, it's not a prom dress. Okay. So quantity 1.
Well, you never been to the prom in the country. So.
Okay. So quantity 1. Now, if you have that's where if you have multiple variations, you can put that in there. So extra small. Brand is, yep, there you go. Now, for brand, if you don't have a brand that's listed there, you can type in your own brand. And now
you told me to put in at least 2 colors. Now, what would you do on this?
I would say the main 2 colors are gray and yellow.
Okay.
So
now gold's an option. Would you do gray and gold? Because it's more gold than yellow.
Yeah, I guess it is because it's metallic. Yeah, I would do gray and gold. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And new with tags, no. Right. If you hit yes, you have the option to check boutique. Do not click that unless you have an item that you have bought wholesale.
So Debbie said, what's Jason's closet's name? I don't know. We'll find out in a second.
Aren't you Tiki Pug or?
I think, but before we say let's finish the listing.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you type in for the description?
Okay, so for the description, you want to put your measurements in. A lot of people, for some reason, even people that sell on eBay, they go to Posh and they think for some reason you don't need measurements on Poshmark. You absolutely need to put measurements in. Anywhere you sell clothing, you need to put your measurements. So,
is it weird that the bust this is an extra small and the bust is 40 inches?
It's oversized, so you're gonna put oversized fit.
All right.
Yeah.
So waist is 38 inches. And so, okay, so here's my question. Waist and hips, because it's just straight, is no change. Do you still type it in?
Yeah, I would add both in because I'm a hippie girl, so I always need the hip measurements, and there's other women that need I won't buy a dress without the hip measurements.
All right, and then do you do sleeve length?
Yeah, I usually will put like shoulder to shoulder, sleeve length, all that. I put in as many measurements as I can. So whatever you have, Jason, is fine for now.
All right, and besides the measurements, do I do anything else?
Yes, I will put the care if it's machine washable, the fabric content. Now, if it's like 58% polyester and 20% rayon and then something else, I'll just put like a polyester rayon blend. I'm not going to put like the specific percentages, but it's probably cotton.
So it's a cotton poly blend.
So yeah, so just put that cotton, yeah. Machine washable or hand wash or dry clean.
Even with hand wash cold separately.
Okay, so just put hand wash.
Okay. Now I did notice a few of the sequins or beads are missing. Where do I put that?
You're going to put very good pre-owned condition with a few minor beads missing or something like, you know. You have to fix that condition. Came out to co-drink.
You know, co-drink.
And sometimes too, you want to put like with Posh, you can get a little more fun with the description. Don't go crazy, but you can put something like, you know, enjoy this summer pineapple tropical dress while you're sipping your, you know, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can there you go. Except you're not going to be having a Puma colada. You're going to be having a Pina colada.
Pina colada.
Exactly. So you can get a little flowery with your description there. Okay. So now I would next. Oh, and you also want to say oversized in there because it is an oversized fit. If you have a specific fit, a lot of things are running oversized now. So if you have a specific, you know, something's boxy or oversized or fitted, you want to put that in there. And the original price now, this is another feature that I kind of wish they would take away. Originally, Poshmark was made for people that were selling out of their own closet. And so they wanted to put the original price that you paid for the item when you bought it new. You can still do that with some things. Like I have a pair of Gucci shoes that I'm selling that I know were at least like $800 new. So I'm putting, you know, you can put an estimate of the price, or you can just put 0. And I do that a lot too, just because you have to have something in there.
So what would stop everyone from putting $1,000 so it looks like it's an amazing deal?
Absolutely nothing, actually. That's why this feature is really something I wish they would take away, because it's kind of, you know, like I said, it was built in for when Posh was more you're selling out of your own closet.
Gotcha. All right. So what do you think I should put for this price?
I would try, you know, you want to price about 20. Now Poshmark takes 20%. And most of the sales are on offer. So most of the sales won't be bought outright. So you want to price about, at least I price like 20 to 30% higher than I actually want. So I would say with this dress, you could probably get about 40. So I would say, well, no, you want to, that's what you might get for it, Jason. So I would price at like 55, or I would price higher.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So okay, so the hit, and now you can share on, now you don't want to spam your followers. So you don't want to, every time, if you share on Twitter or Facebook, it'll just like put spam on their feed every time you list something. You don't want to do that. What I do is I have a Pinterest folder for my Poshmark items, and it goes right to my Pinterest folder when I hit. So I just share on Pinterest because that's not, you know, spamming everyone. They can go to your folder and see what you're selling then. So
I think I had another typo according to Marianne. Yep. Good catch, Marianne.
Ah, okay.
Good catch.
Okay, so
all right, I am going to throw up on Facebook just for fun in this time, but I won't do it all the time.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to hit that every time, or you'll lose followers because they'll be spam.
Check out this cute dress that you need for summertime.
Okay, and then hit, and that's
all
it.
Right, so that wasn't that hard.
No, so it's easy. You can see it's really easy to sell in the app on mobile. And I usually have my pictures taken ahead of time, my measurements. So when I'm sitting in the oncologist office waiting for my appointment, I can be sitting there listing, you know. So
all right, so I'm Tiki Pug Music, and I should probably get rid of the picture of me with my a-hole shirt on, huh?
I would think that would probably be a good idea. Yeah, that's probably not a.
All right, so I got my 2 dresses up. There you go.
Okay, beautiful. So okay, so now you can go back to everybody can see it's so easy to list for you know, via mobile. It's just like 2 minutes of listing I can do.
So what do you think about what Sharon says? Did you see my hamster coat from Pawn Stars?
I did not.
You didn't watch me yet?
I'm sorry. I still haven't.
You said you were watching it yesterday.
I'm so sorry. Oh gosh, I know I'm a bad friend. I will watch it.
You lie.
Sorry.
You lie. All right, so I have a vintage full-length leather coat lined in hamster fur.
Mm-hmm.
So Sharon said I should put that on Posh. And I think that'd be more Etsy because it's vintage.
The poor hamsters.
Does Posh like vintage stuff too?
Okay, so for Posh, I don't personally sell vintage. I save that for eBay or other platforms, which I'm also selling on, like Etsy, Depop. For me, I think that, you know, and there are people that have entire vintage closets and they do well with that. But I personally think that it's better for you know, trendy brand name. It's very brand driven. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, and the brand I have on that coat I had to post in the thrifting board. We can't find the brand anywhere. That's how
So
old
for that, something like obscure like that, I would not sell that on Poshmark. That's my opinion. I would save that for eBay or Depop or Etsy or something like that.
Now, Christy says use any type of template. Is that coming up, or is that a question you should answer now?
What I don't understand what she's saying. Like template as far as when you're listing is.
Yeah, I don't think Christy in like eBay, we talked about, like Angela talked about having a template last night on Thrifty Business. I don't think you can for this because it's just a really easy
it's a
app
very simple
just go through
form. There's nothing like that. Yeah, you just follow the listing flow and it's super simple. Don't try to make it more complicated than it needs to be.
And then do you recommend using your eBay username for your Posh account or come up with a new name?
I think it's great to brand across platforms.
So do I.
I am Thrifty Nay on Poshmark and on Depop now. If I go into other platforms, I'll be Thrifty Nay. I'm still Cold Ray Dazzle on eBay just because I started back in 2011 and that's what I had. So, but yeah, I think it's a great idea to brand across platforms.
And then can you list on Posh from eBay? No.
No. But I do cross some of my listings. I will cross list and I'll just like, if I list it on Posh or vice versa, I'll just copy and paste and I already have my photos. So. But be careful doing that because you can sell things simultaneously.
And hey, no round of applause for my demonstration. What?
You did very well.
Oh, and I didn't mean from you. I meant from the audience. Like, come on now. It's my second listing on Posh. Come on. All right, go ahead, Nay.
Okay, so next slide is okay. So see, these are some of my best Poshmark sales. Now, on the left, those vintage Chanel cap toe slingback shoes, I sold for $150. They did have condition issues, but I got them in the bins, believe it or not. Yes, I found an authentic pair of Chanel shoes in the Goodwill bins. So I paid about 99 cents for them, and I sold them for $150. Now, remember, Posh does take 20%. So my earnings were 20% less than whatever, but still great earnings. The Gucci, these were genuine Gucci. I had the case, I had everything. I paid $40 for these at Goodwill. They were authentic. And I took a best offer of $210 for those. Missoni is another great brand name. That's another high end. So I sold this Missoni silk scarf. I got it at my local Goodwill for $2.99, and I sold it for a best offer of $70. So. And the next slide.
For a dumb little scarf.
Yes. Nanette Lepore. Now, this woman that bought my Nanette Lepore shoes, she made a Poshmark account just to buy these shoes. She was looking for this specific style, and she had another pair that she had worn out or the heel broke or something. And so she actually signed up for Poshmark just to buy these shoes. So people will search, especially if you have a style name. Put that in your title because people will search for that. And those sold for $100, so I took away $80 from those. And Cole Haan seems to do better on Posh than it does on eBay. Some of the brands do, and $75 there. Dansko $115. I sold those for. So yeah. So
Debbie says. But no PayPal fees. Right. It's a flat.
It's a flat 20%. You get the 20%. That's what you get from Poshmark in your PayPal account. Yes.
Oh, thanks, Pam. You shouldn't have. Oh, I got a round of applause from Sabrina. Oh, thank you. Here, wait, hang on. I'll put my camera back on.
Okay. Well, wow. You got some love.
You guys rock.
Okay. So, these are okay. So Rockin' Republic is a brand that now is, I say pimped out when Kohl's gets a line, because usually when Kohl's gets a hold of something, it kind of brings the brand down. Like Vera Bradley, Kohl's started selling it. Now it's like, not Vera Bradley, I'm sorry, Vera Wang. Kohl's started selling it, and it kind of seems to drag the whole market down on that brand. Rockin' Republic, now Kohl's sells. However, if you have something that's like that's a brand like that is really unique, and it has some, like, studs are in right now. That's a trend that's in right now. So I took a good clear photo of these.
Wait, I'm in right now? Thank you. I'll be here.
Oh, Jason. So I'm going to do an eye roll. So anyway, so those I sold for $49. I took a best offer for. I priced high, and there were others that sold a lot lower, the same shoe, but I took a good picture. I knew that studs were in, so I sold them based on style. So, And then this Jill Sander Raf Simons dress. And now I knew that this was a Raf Simons Jill Sander designer. It doesn't say Raf Simons on it, but I knew that that was the designer. He actually mysteriously, he had a contract with them. He was designing for Jill Sander, and he mysteriously just disappeared and never designed again. So
like no one knows where he is. It disappeared.
no, they don't know exactly what happened. Like he, for some reason, he broke his contract with Jill Sander, and he mysteriously just stopped designing for them. So
Wow.
yeah, so the Raf Simons, if you find a Jill Sander in its own does okay, but I knew that this was designed by Raf Simons, so I knew that I could get more for it. So I sold this one again for $100. So I made $80 on that. And then Coach is another brand that's kind of going, it's so saturated that it's harder to sell these days, especially on eBay, but I do find that I can still sell a Coach on Posh, and I got $65 for these Coach shoes. You absolutely have to start high, and you have to send offers and accept offers. I've very, very seldom gotten a sale straight out on Posh. Most are offers, not bids, but it's an offer. So, and if you send an offer, you have to add a shipping discount of either $180 or you have to do $4.99 shipping. $4.99 or free shipping. I'm sorry. So these are some of my lesser sales. So I don't call these duds because they still increase my exposure because I added these brands, these items in so that I'd have a variety of brands. So they brought more traffic to my closet. So even though they didn't sell for a lot, they're not technically duds because they are helping my exposure and me to get a variety of followers. So Zara is a very popular brand. So I've just peppered in some Zara items. And so I only sold this for $10. Now, any sales under $15, they take $2.97. So they don't take the 20%, they take $2.97 on it. So I did not make much on that, but still it brought Zara followers into my closet. Old Navy is another low-end brand, but it brought, that $16 sale brought more of a variety and Ann Taylor is another one that's kind of like Loft and Ann Taylor. That's like a bread and butter, Banana Republic, Gap, all of those brands. But I wanted those in my closet because, like I said, it increases my closet exposure. It gets me more followers. And then Balenciaga, that's a very, very high end. Now, unfortunately, I have not yet found a genuine Balenciaga bag thrifting. That's one of my holy grails. But I found a dust bag. And having the Balenciaga name in my closet brought me brought me those followers. So it was a dust bag that I sold for just $20, but it had that name on it. So that brand got in my closet, and I got those followers. So
although it's not big money, there are people who are not looking for Vera Wang and Coach, but they are looking for Old Navy and Gap and Banana Republic.
Yeah, so you want to sell like those well-known brands. You want to have those in your closet. Like I have a variety. Now, some people just sell luxury. Some people just sell the low-end stuff. Some people sell vintage, but this is my personal, this is what works for me. So, okay, now new Poshers are loved. You are rock stars when you sign up for Posh. In eBay, how people, they have zero, they don't want to buy, they don't want to sell to zero feedback buyers. It's like, oh, they have zero feedback. I'm afraid that the sale is going to go south. Something's going to happen. It is not like that on Poshmark. Poshers love new Poshmark sellers. So the first buyer in a new closet gets a $3.99 shipping from Poshmark. So that encourages people to buy from new sellers. And it's encouraged when you comment and welcome new Poshers, it actually increases I believe it does something with the algorithm to, boost your sales. So people all the time, I do like 10 a day. I think in Lynn's webinar, when she did the first Poshmark webinar, she said the same thing. And your first sale is announced and you're given love. Like your followers, your friends will get notifications. Nay just had her first sale on Poshmark, and people will comment on your first sale, like congratulations. So and new members are highlighted on the main feed. There's a whole section for new people that you can follow. So that encourages new people to be followed. And ambassadors are suggested. Like I am an ambassador, so I am a suggested person to follow by new members. And I love my new members. You know, they buy, they're great. I love to, you know, I'll go in and I'll say, welcome to Poshmark. I'm an ambassador. If you need any help, you know, feel free to ask any questions, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's one of those things where it drives you nuts when you're not on it, because I am signed up. I've had my empty closet for quite a while. And then when you get those notifications, oh, your friend Debbie just sold her first thing on Pod. Oh, your friend, you know, seeing those show up in your feed drives you nuts when you're not on. You're like, ah, crap, I got to get on here.
Yeah.
Because I see my friends having success, which is awesome. Not taking anything away from them, but it makes me like, oh, I got to get my ass in gear.
Yeah. So if you sign up, if you're not on Poshmark and you sign up, you will be loved in the Poshmark community. New sellers are definitely rock stars with Posh. So. And some photo tips. So take clear professional photos in good lighting. The same rules apply with any platform. I'm not going to give a photo lesson here because all of you should know, you know, good lighting, you know, take clear photos, take close-ups of details and flaws and whatnot. So your photos will make or break your success on Poshmark as well. So Poshmark, what's different with Poshmark is it's encouraged to have creative photos on Poshmarks, items that are styled, showing like the top with a necklace and earrings and you know, items that you would put with it, and modeling. People hire models, people model their outfits. I actually went to a Poshmark Posh Party Live in Philadelphia, and the Poshmark employees were talking about that they encourage people, wear your outfit, model it, get somebody to model it. So that's something that on eBay, it's not like, you know, you just put, basically you want a white background, a neutral background, just show your item. And I do that by all means on some of my photos with Posh, but you can get more creative with backgrounds and with styling and stuff. So that's the difference with Poshmark.
So like eBay, when you have a store, can you put your closet on
Absolutely.
vacation?
So you can go to your settings, and there is in the app, there is actually a vacation hold setting, and you can put it's just one click in the app and you can put it on or off. Actually, Craig just asked me that. Craig Dawson, right before my webinar, he messaged me and he's like, hey, how do I put my store and my closet on vacation?
Hey, Craig Dawson, tune into the webinar and you'll find out. Sheesh.
Yeah. So
just kidding.
So,
but this is a great question. I don't know if you're going to address it coming up, but if you don't style or have models, will it hurt your sales?
No, it won't.
Some people don't have style. I'm not saying Gems and Gifts doesn't have style. I'm just saying some people don't understand what style is.
Yeah, and it's okay. No, as long as you have clear, good, professional looking photos, you're okay. But you know, by all means, I think it does help. Like if you have something that really would be good on a model, like it's better a bit, and you have somebody that can model it for you, by all means, you know, try something like that. But as long as your photos are good and clear and crisp, you know, your sales will be okay. So. I do some of my photos on different backgrounds. I don't do models. I don't, you know, I don't do anything like that, but I do different backgrounds. I get a little creative. And I do some photos on a white background, just, you know, so it all depends. So don't overdo the creative factor. Don't let your item get lost in the shuffle. Like, you know, put like sunglasses and earrings and a belt and everything, and put your shirt in the middle, and then it's like, and pants, and what are you selling? What item is it? You know, so don't let it get lost. And don't use stock photos. Now, a lot of people do use stock photos. You'll see a lot of the big sellers using stock photos. Technically, you're not supposed to. Posh does and doesn't crack down. It depends on there was a thing with Ted Baker. The brand Ted Baker, they cracked down, and Poshmark started, just if you used a stock photo with them, Poshmark started to slap you for that. So it does depend, but you're not supposed to, so don't do it. And don't take pictures, as with any other platform, don't take them on your dirty floor or in bad lighting. You know, people don't want to see your, you know, your stained carpet and, you know. Yeah.
No?
So,
what?
and I don't recommend the filters. We talked about that. And Unfortunately, in Poshmark, this is one of my big pain points with it is in the app, you cannot rotate the photos. And sometimes, like I'll take good photos. I mean, I usually do go in and edit a little bit, but if I'm taking a picture of a tag on an item, I don't need to edit that ahead of time, but my camera on my phone will often rotate it sideways. So I have to go in and rotate it before I actually import it into the app. So. And do definitely experiment with some different backgrounds. Like I said, as long as your photo is clear, as long as you have a good photo, a strong photo, you'll do okay. And make sure that if you model it, it's done professionally, not with your, with your dirty clothes hamper in the background, and and if you choose to style it, don't, like I said, don't do it very cluttered. Don't have like your junk in the background and so many items that you don't know which item you're selling. No feet, that's a very good one. Hands too, a lot of people will put their hands. I saw one seller that every single photo, she had beautiful photos, but her hand is stuck in every photo. And that's not, I don't recommend that either. So
let me tell a quick story here because it's so true. I was at an event where I was speaking, and I did a whole presentation basically on what not to do when it comes to pictures. This was obviously for eBay. This was years ago. And I had a picture of a person holding salt and pepper shakers, kind of like this. So you saw their hand, and they had a manicure, but it was so busted. It was all half chipped and, way overdue. And I said, look, there is never a point you need to have your hands in your picture. But if you do, don't have a busted manicure. So I get off stage and I'm hanging out the event later, and a guy walks up to me and goes, "That was my wife's hands."
What?
And he goes, "And I'm buying her a new manicure tomorrow." I'm like, sorry. I didn't share the name of the seller or anything, but it was so funny that the husband was in the crowd.
That is funny. But yes, if you are going to put your hand in there, don't have don't have a bad manicure. Okay. So, okay, you can go to the next one. So I'm going to share some good photos. These are not my photos. These are just photos that I took off the platform from other sellers. So some people highlight the brand and they do a front and back photo like that one, the loft one, that's done tastefully. Those blue shoes have a wood background. The shoes really stand out clear. I think that looks great. Those Fry boots, they have flowers, they've got the brand, but it looks professional. It looks good. So those are some good creative photos. And the next slide. Okay, so there's another one. She's got some other items, but you can tell that those orange shoes are what she's selling. And in the middle, there's somebody that modeled that skirt, and she's, that picture in the rain and all, it's kind of a darker, that yellow skirt really stands out. That looks great. And the same thing with that, on the end there, this person takes close-ups of all of the fabric, on one side. So something like that you can do too, as long as it's nice and clear and it looks good. Those are some good ways to get posh creative with your photos.
Yeah, I mean, her look conveys a whole story.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
like she's got you can see how the skirt is styled. She's got the accessories, but you can tell that yellow skirt that she's selling really stands out.
Yep.
Okay. So this is what not to do. There is a bikini in the left photo. She's got it on a background.
Wow, there's a bikini there.
There is, and it almost matches the background. So it's like camouflage. So don't do that. Do not do that. Don't let your
See, that's the prime example of some people don't have style. How can you look at that photo and think, yep, that's good?
I don't know. I can't. You have to really look for that bikini. It's like hidden. Yes. And then in the middle, she's got great photos. She has, she's got really good photo skills, but her item gets lost. She's selling a pink pair of pants there that are on that pink rug folded. And they get lost in the staging. So don't do that. And then on the end, she's got, she's modeling it, but she's got all of her bedroom junk in the background. Don't do that.
She's also a cam girl part-time.
What's that?
She's also a cam girl part-time.
What do you mean?
So for those of you who know what a cam girl is, you're all laughing right now. The rest of you are like, what's a cam girl?
Yeah, I'm like, what's a cam girl?
Google it later, but don't have kids watching.
Okie dokie. So on the left, I had talked about my foot when I in my closet, I have something that says I'm a Posh ambassador, welcome, and then I do 15% off of bundles with 2 items or more, something like that. That's friendly. Some people do like, you know, I'm having a sale. You can do a photo like that. Don't do something that's going to off-put people though. Like this one says, please be respectful. Posh takes 20%, no lowballing. If I see that in somebody's closet, I'm going to be like, you know what? I don't want to be bothered with them because it's just off-putting. So don't do something like that. And the Fendi person in the middle, that person is asking $300 for that Fendi bag. If I'm going to ask $300 for a Fendi bag, I'm not going to be too lazy to rotate the photo in the app. She was too lazy to rotate it. She's got like some unclear background. I don't know if that's like her bed sheets folded or what, but don't do that. And then the other thing she's got on the last picture, the background print is competing with the bikini print. You know, that just, don't do that either. So those are some things not to do.
So, you know, Craig's like busy, like he's traveling to Vegas for a week or something. I don't know. But he says, sorry if I missed his comment. What do you think about mannequins?
Oh, absolutely. I do. Most of my photos are on my Manny. Yeah, absolutely. These are just like, I'm giving some examples. If you're going to get creative on Posh, you're going to just do like a white background or use your mannequin and all. That's all fine. But if you're going to get creative, these are like the do's and don'ts. So. And okay, so tips on curating your closet. You know, getting a good closet that's going to get you followers. Some sellers, like I said, they do vintage or off brands, and they do fine. But my personal thing is the best items to sell on Posh are trending brands and styles, items that are high end and sought out. Like I sell some Gucci, Prada, Fendi, Brahmin, all of that. And items that are geared towards trendier buyers, like even the lower tier things. Like I said, put some of those in your closet. You might not sell them for much, but they'll bring in more followers. Forever 21, Uniqlo, Zara, and then the bread and butter popular staple brands. Like I'm thinking like, you know, Ann Taylor Loft, Banana, Gap, J. Crew, all of those kind of brands that are kind of like steady sellers. I love to have a variety in my closet because I find that it brings in a variety of buyers. So, and then the best like I said, pepper your closet with brands. Like sometimes like the Balenciaga dust bag that I put that dust bag in there just to have the name Balenciaga in my closet. So, so throw in some items like that just for brand exposure. Even if you have like a Prada cosmetic bag that came from a Prada promotion or something, but it's Prada, now you've got Prada in your closet. So definitely do that. And okay, so definitely pay attention to what's trending. Keep updated when brands become oversaturated and less desirable. Like LuLaRoe is one of them that is just so saturated because all of the sellers that we're selling now are unloading their inventory, and the market is just oversaturated with it. So that's another brand. That's like a brand that was popular that now is hard to sell. Stylecaster.com is an excellent source. They will show you all kinds of things, the top 5 trending styles, the trending brands, everything that's popular right now. And visit department stores, like go to Nordstrom and look at the high-end clothing and all, and keep your eyes and ears peeled. Like look around you, see what the hipsters in the mall are wearing, and you know, stuff like that. So
hang out at the mall. I haven't been to a mall forever.
I mean, it does, you know, you can go look in the store windows and see what, you know, what's trending and all. And some of the current fashion trends, fanny packs, neon and bright colors, hair accessories, mom jeans are really big right now. Denim jackets. There's a whole denim jacket section on the Poshmark blog right now. Crossbody bag, statement sleeves, marigold yellow tie-dye, and patchwork. And some of the current branding trends right now, Birkenstock is big this summer. Remember, season does matter on Posh because right now it's not international. So I do still have my winter items, but the most selling items are going to be summer right now. Birkenstock, Tory, Birch, Zara, ASOS, Lululemon, Reformation, Madewell, Converse, Gucci, Fendi, and then there's a lot more. So those are just some of the top trending brands right now. And remember that, like I said, it changes all the time. Like Coach is a Coach, and LuLaRoe are more saturated. Michael Kors is another one that's not selling as well because the market is just so saturated. So brands, you know, kind of they have their momentum and then they lose momentum, and other brands kind of you know, move forward. So
I just had a great idea that I bought some Levi's denim jackets, new with tags, that I thought would sell well on eBay, and they haven't. They're men's.
Oh.
And they haven't. And so I'm like, and I haven't put them anywhere else. And I bought like 7 of them.
Oh yeah. Denim jackets are big on Poshmark right now.
How
definitely.
about,
and Levi's is a great brand. So definitely put those up in the men's market.
and also I bought a high-end pair of new tag jeans. I can't remember the brand, and I didn't know it, but I looked it up and they were like new $400. So I gave it a whirl on eBay. Have not had any nibbles, so maybe Poshmark is a place to put the high-end ones too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go for it. So
Brittany, get out of Poshmark.
okay. How am I doing on time? Are we doing okay?
Yeah, we're almost at the top of the hour. I think we're close to the end, right?
Yeah, we're getting there. I mean, I might go a little over if that's okay, but okay. So realize that things that sell on other platforms don't sell well on Posh or vice versa. And make sure you filter when you're doing a search for sold. It will automatically search for the items in your size. So you have to filter out my size, uncheck that, and then check available when researching. And then you can search like lowest to highest or highest to lowest price. So definitely, search the sold on Poshmark. Now, Jason said to me, if you go to the next slide, he was in Buffalo and he said to me, what about, because he was trying to find an item to do the demonstration on Posh. And he said, what about this dress? And I said, that's not a great brand to sell on Poshmark. I don't know what happened to my slide.
Remember I told you they changed again and I forgot to edit this one.
Well, sorry about that. I had a beautiful slide there and it got.
Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. So the brand is just Taylor. And Jason said to me, what do you mean it's not a good brand? It sold for $27.99 on eBay. And I was like, that's eBay, not Poshmark. So yeah, by all means, list the dress on eBay, but don't list it on Poshmark because first of all, the brand is more saturated. And you can see on eBay, there was only one sold, so it's not as saturated, and it was pre-owned, and it was $27.99, so that was a decent sale. But on Poshmark, the same dress, the average selling price was only $10. One sold for $9, one sold for $12. There were a couple more that were like for $8. And then the highest sale for that dress was $20, and that was new without tags. So you can see the difference there between. So definitely know your market and know what to sell on what platform.
So I still bought it because it was half off. So it was $8, $8.25.
Yeah, I would list it on eBay.
And I put up for an eBay for $30. Yeah. And look right. Do you see where I bought it from? Buffalo Exchange. Webinar coming soon, everybody. Webinar coming soon.
Okay. So now this is my personal tip. My top selling brand over the past year has hands down been Lululemon. And again, you might put up Lulu and it might not sell for you, but this is what's sold for me. Probably based on the followers that I've brought into my closet. I sell a lot of Lulu, and you can see the jackets and the hoodies I have sold for around, between $40, $50, dollars. I think, yeah, about $50 average. Some of the leggings, not so much, about $25. One sold for $34, I think. Those pants sold for $59. A tank top sold for $34. So you can see that, and Lulu is a good, steady brand. It's been great for me. So anytime I have Lululemon, it flies out of my closet. So that's just, that's been my top selling brand. So, and curating, now this is for the home goods category that I had talked about. That's the new. So the same rules apply for home goods. New items are trending more, are more popular than pre-owned items, but that doesn't mean that you can't sell the pre-owned items. But you want brands that are popular, like IKEA is big, Pottery Barn, Lily Pulitzer Home, Anthropology, Crate and Barrel, J. Crew Accents. Those big branded home items are what you want. And like I said, think trendy, higher end style. Same thing with clothing. Just the same thing with home goods. And there's home style trends that also are trending right now. So, for example, pink bedding, metallic bath decor, and mosaic accents and wall art. So that's ever changing as well. So, stay on top of the home style trends as well. And okay, so these are some of the user resources. You have so many resources at your fingertips. You have the Posh Life blog. They do a trend report every so often. I think it's like every quarter they do a trend report, and it says all the top trends. They have a whole highlighted section. Like right now, I said they have something on denim jackets. They have so much information there. Events, promotions, all kinds of things you can get on the Posh. So definitely go to the Poshmark blog and subscribe. Stylecaster.com is one of the websites that I use for fashion to see what's trending and fashion tips. It shows you the colors of the season, what the styles are, the top brands. So definitely use that website. That's a great one. Poshmark on Instagram, follow them. They have so many tips. There's a weekly video. Every Sunday they put out a video on what's new in the app, what's trending, new information, that's pertinent to Poshmark. So definitely follow them, and on Twitter as well. And then the Posh app and website itself has a ton of resources. There's support, there's help, there's frequently asked questions, there's a whole community in there. And then attend a Poshmark event. I went to a Posh Party Live, which is, it's like a mini, a mini event that they come locally. Some Posh employees, they do like, drinks and food, and you get together, you network with other Poshmark sellers, and you can, and then there's some speakers. So I did go to one in Philadelphia, and I learned a lot there. It was great. And Posh Fest is like eBay Open. They go to a different location every year. I think this year it's in Arizona. And also a local Posh and Sip, which is like an eBay meetup group. There's local groups, and you can search for those. If you go into the Posh app, you can search for Posh and Sip and find your local ones. So definitely do that too, and network with other Poshers. Get involved in the community. There's Poshmark Facebook groups, and there's share groups that you can follow and share other people and get more followers. Definitely get out there in the community and participate. So. And then on the left, there's the Poshmark app. You can see right on the bottom, there's a support center, frequently asked questions about Poshmark. There's all kinds of, right in the app, you have help there. And then in the middle, there's the Poshmark Instagram feed. You can see on their story, they have different items that you can, about Posh Facts, the markets, and then they have that weekly report. So definitely follow them on Instagram. And then there's an example, if you just search on right on the Poshmark app, Poshmark Posh and Sip, it'll come up with the ones in you can put, like, if you're from Denver, you can put Denver, and then it'll show, different meetups. So you can find them that way too.
So are there any guys in these Poshmark live meetup groups?
Absolutely. And when I went to the Poshmark Live, now it was a lot of women, but there were definitely men there. There's men, the men's market is growing, and there are a lot more. I've noticed recently, especially, there are a lot more male Poshers now. So absolutely. And okay, so you can't list it and forget it. If you have the eBay mindset or any other platform where you just put your listing up and leave it, you will not sell anything. You have to maintain the social media part of it every day. So you have to share your closet daily. I share my whole closet sometimes a couple times a day. Now that might be overkill. I know Lynn had discussed a 30-minute method. This is what works for me though. Every day I share my own closet. I follow back people that followed me. I follow back. I go and I find new Poshers to follow. I go to brands and I follow, people that sell certain brands. So I definitely follow and follow back every day. New Poshers, I go and I will, new Poshers that follow me, I'll go follow new Poshers, and I'll comment on their intro photo. I'll say, welcome to Poshmark. I'm a Posh ambassador. If you need any help, I'm here, that kind of thing. Stay active every day. And I try to do like 5 listings a day. Sometimes I fall short of that. Sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less. But I find that if you feed the algorithm with listings every day, just like on eBay, it will boost you in search. And every time you list something too, it gets bumped up. So when I share, I do an edit share, which means that you're editing your listing and it gets bumped up. And then, but if you share, it does bump up your listing in search. So definitely share every day. Okay. And then there's Poshmark parties. There's the invite for a party. Parties are like, they have themes, and it's like a group of people sharing these items in this specific theme. There's 3 main parties a day. If there's a specific theme, like women's tops, I'll put all of my women's tops at the top of my closet during a party. And then try to get a host pick. A host pick is when the host of the party, each host gets gets to choose 100 host picks, and they go into an exclusive showroom, and you will get more shares, more followers. You get a lot of attention if you get a host pick. How do you get a host pick? You have to get noticed. For great photos in a closet, somebody recommends you, that's also getting noticed. You can ask politely. I don't recommend that because I think it's kind of like bad etiquette, but some people do. You can recommend other poshers and hope that they'll pick you. You can share items in the others in the host closets, like just go into their closet and share hundreds of items. And your Poshmark reputation and closet appearance matters. Like there's only 100 picks per post, so and your closet has to be Poshmark compliant. So, and I just recently got 2 host picks. Those 2 items were, and you can see on the right there, there's one of my host picks in the showroom and the party. So. And then you can mark your photo after, and people do search for HP host pick. They'll search for items that are host picks. So put that in your keywords after edit and put that in and put it on your picture. And okay, so what did getting the host pick do for me? I got a lot of love, a lot of congratulations, a lot of shares. Did I get more sales? I got some offers, some lower offers that I didn't take, but I got a lot more exposure and traffic. So in the end, that will translate to more sales. And people do, like I said, search for listings by host pick. So that it definitely boost my sales in the end because it gave me so many more followers and exposure. And yeah, pricing. Okay, again, Poshmark takes 20%. Items over 15, they take $2.95 for $15 and below. Most of the sales are made via offer, so definitely price your items higher than you want. I hear a lot of people complaining like, oh, they take so much, you can't make anything. Well, price high, compensate for that. Don't undervalue your items and compare apples to apples, like that example with that Just Taylor dress. Like Jason said, well, on eBay it sells for, you have to compare, you have to look on Poshmark. By all means, look on eBay too, but definitely, compare apples to apples. And yeah, use the offer to likers, counter offer. Don't be afraid. If I get a low ball, I'll counter. Know your item's value and do be willing to wait. Sometimes don't take the first offer that comes along unless it's a good offer. They have a closet clear out thing where during certain times, they just had one yesterday. If you do 10% or less on, it'll send a notification to every single person that's ever liked your listing. Figure out your lowest price and stick to it. For me, like I try not to sell lower than 15. Every once in a while I will, just for the brand exposure, but it really doesn't become worth it with the profits at that point. And then use the price. Don't use the price drop tool to price. Don't price too quickly or too drastically, because the lower you price, remember, you're going to sell on an offer. So don't race to the bottom too fast. And yeah, become a Posh ambassador. Like I'm an ambassador. It's kind of like the top rated status in eBay. It's not a get out of work card. You still have to work hard. In fact, I think you have to work harder to maintain your status, and you'll get perks. You'll get recommended followers. You'll be a recommended follower to new Poshers. You'll get more followers, access to offers, higher community standard, exposure to your closet. And they do send you a newsletter with sneak peeks for the app and whatnot. And these are the requirements. You have to have minimum of 5,000 community shares, 5,000 self shares. You have to share a minimum 50 new Poshers, 50 available listings, 15 sales, an average purchase rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars. Your ship time. Now, this is another good thing about Posh. I try to ship within a day, but on Poshmark, as long as you ship within 3 days, you're still an ambassador. So with Poshmark, the requirement is 3 days. And love notes given, that means that you buy something and you comment, like, oh, this was a great item, whatever. You have to do at least one. So they want you to buy something basically to see what the buying experience is.
Do you think there'll be a point where they'll be like eBay and say, hey, same day shipping, 1-day shipping?
I don't know. It's more laid back. So I don't see that coming right now, because it's such a different platform. The 3-day shipping. I mean, they say that, don't open up a case or anything unless your item hasn't shipped within 7 days. So, yeah, definitely see the buyer's perspective, more able, you can help them and accommodate your buyers if they have a question about like, hey, I paid and this didn't go through, you know, whatever. You can help them with the purchase flow. And then you have to leave, like I said, at least one love note to get Posh ambassador status. So I've
one love note.
Yes, one love note. So I have bought on Posh. I actually bought the top I'm wearing. You know, if everyone knows I love giraffes. So this is a Lula Row. I got it, like, she was clearing it out for like $4, which I don't know why she was selling it that low. It's a beautiful top, but so I bought this. If you go to the next slide. And there you see, like, I gave her 5 stars. She shipped it quickly. She put it in a poly mailer with a little sticker. It does matter. You can get lower stars for not having a good presentation with your shipping. It's different than eBay.
I was gonna say that's a heck of a change for me. Uh-oh.
So I have this item also that I bought. If you can see in the little window, okay, so it's another giraffe shirt, but she put it in a clear bag, and she has a business card. I'm gonna actually make some cards for myself. You can use the Tyvek bags like this for priority, and the medium flat rate box also. It's $6.97 shipping standard. That's what it is on Poshmark across the board. So yeah, so this is another one that you use the medium flat rate boxes, and it's the same as the Tyveks. So okay. And yeah, so definitely package neatly and professionally. Like I said, presentation does matter, and some buyers will give you less stars. $6.97 is the shipping that's a flat fee. All orders up to 5 pounds. So this encourages multiple sales and bundles. A bundle is, you know, a person will put a bunch of items in your bundle, and then you can give them an offer for the entire bundle. So it does encourage buyers to buy multiple items from you, because there's a flat rate $6.97 shipping, whether you buy 1 item or 5 items, as long as it's under 5 pounds, then you pay extra per pound. So you have to offer a shipping discount when you do an offer to Lakers. Like I said, it's either $4.99 shipping or free shipping. And stock, definitely, like I said, stock the medium flat rates and the Tyveks. You can use any poly mail or anything, but not like the padded flat rates. It just is standard priority, but the medium flat rates are okay. And then these are just some extra bonus tips. Rearrange your closet daily for best exposure in all items. Remember, the top of the closet items are the more often shared. So if there's a party going on, like for shoes, put all your shoes at the top, you know. Rearrange your closet, yeah, so during the parties. And if you have a high ticket item or anything that you're trying to sell, find similar items that are sold or available that are the same brand, size, and style, and follow and share the likers of those similar items. They will receive a follow notification and hopefully will follow you. And this brings the buyers that are interested in your specific items into your closet. So that's another way to make sales.
Come into my closet.
And yeah, okay, so these are the pros. It's easy to list. The fees are all taken out. They do take 20%, but it's all taken out up front. There's no monthly fees or additional fees. They take out the 20%, and that's what you get. It's a friendly, fun community. The events and tools are all integrated into the app and community pages. Like I said, you can find all of the resources that you needed right in the Poshmark app. You earn higher prices on items and brands than you would on other platforms. Like the Just Tailor dress. You can sell the same item on Poshmark for more than you can on other platforms. And there's no returns for fit or buyer's remorse at this point. I don't know. I see the future of Posh. I think they're going to have to change that eventually. But right now, only for items not at Donna's described can be returned. So I don't get return. I haven't had a return yet. But the only way that you can get a return is if somebody, and they have 3 days to accept the item. If they don't accept it, then your funds are released within 3 days. And the ambassador requirements are less stringent than the top selling on other platforms, like the TRS requirements for eBay. The bundles, you sell more bundles, more items to a single buyer, and there's no shipping costs. It's a flat fee, so you don't have to deal with all the shipping stuff. And if you have an item, a high-end item that's $500 or more, Poshmark will give you free authentication on that item. So you send it in, they authenticate it, and then they'll send it to the buyer, and that's a free service, so that the buyer can't say, "Oh, it wasn't authentic," you know. So
wait, you don't send it in until after you sell it?
Right. Right.
Oh, so what happens if they get it and they go, no?
Then they'll I believe that they send it back to you, and the sale is canceled.
Okay.
So yeah,
Like, this isn't real.
yeah, but I mean, sell authentic items. Make sure your items are authentic. So again, it's not international. Canada and US can't sell to each other. So if I buy something from Craig in Canada, he has to ship it to a freight forwarder in Canada, and then it has to be shipped to me. Unfortunately, he can't ship it directly to me. So that's one caveat right now. Now at the Poshmark event that I went to, they hinted at going international. So, and they are actually later this year, they're going to be a public traded stock. They're going to be on the stock market publicly. So I think they're going to end up international eventually. The Canada's that's a beta that they just started, but I believe that they're going to go totally international. And there is a race to the bottom with price. You get a lot of low ball offers, but if you just stick to your guns and don't undersell or undervalue, you'll be fine. The app is still behind on some things. Like I said, there's no edit or rotate. You can't directly PM buyers unless you have a private bundle, and then you can comment. But the only way that you can speak to to your buyers is they comment on the listing, and then it's a public comment that everyone can see. And sometimes it does feel like it takes a long time to get your funds. So it's 3 days. They have 3 days they accept it right away. Once it's shipped, your funds get released right away. Otherwise, it takes 3 days. And then Poshmark will release your funds to you. And then you have to wait for the bank transfer. So, so you're not dealing with, you're not even dealing with PayPal. So they have their own payment processing through Poshmark. So my money goes right into my bank account. And you do have to put a lot of effort in to maintain a following. And like I said, it's not a list it and forget it platform. Okay, and then these are some of the things since Lynn's webinar that are new. Drafts, which is great. There's all of the new markets that I talked about, the bundles, and now you can comment, you can interact with other people on your bundles, and you can give private discounts and do like a private comment there. The style cards, that's like something like I'm a size, like if you're a size medium and you like this certain style and all, you have a style card, and then people can follow you and make offers based on what you like. Offer to likers for sellers and buyers. The sales reports, this is great. There's a new tool called Sales, and it will give you can do like the whole year of your sales report or a certain period, and it'll give you all of your, your sell price, your profit, your it has so much information in there. The seller reports are excellent. Style match is another thing that's new. You can be matched with a top stylist, and it's kind of like a personal shopper thing. I haven't used it, but that's another thing. The home goods market is another one. And you can now sell breakables. When they first rolled it out, they said no breakables. Breakables are allowed now.
No breakables. Okay, well,
yeah, now they allow it. So they just specify that you have to package well. So we're going to do some homework here. So if you're a new posher, I want you to source an item specifically for Poshmark and create your first closet listing following the tips from this webinar. And if you're already a posher, I want you to do one new listing or redo an old listing using the tips from this webinar, and maybe try a new market. Like if you've only sold in women's clothing, try a men's or a kids or a home goods. So then you're going to submit your one listing link to a secret beach thread, and there'll be more information in there. And then I'm going to do another webinar, and I'll go through each listing, and I'll do comments and suggestions on each listing. And then the best listing will win. I have some Poshmark swag that I got from the Poshmark event. There's like a one of those drawstring bags and some thank you notes and a sticker. So the best listing will I will send you that. So
wait, homework and goodies?
Homework and goodies for the best listing. So yeah, so do a good listing based on the information from this webinar, and you'll get some Posh swag.
All right, so is everyone ready to get out there and start poshing? Now, of course, unfortunate thing, the timing, for those of us going to eBay Open, we won't be doing anything for over a week. Yeah. And then some of us, me for sure, and Debbie, go right from eBay Open to ASD. So it's going to be like, 10 days where I'm back really in my office sitting down. Yeah. So, I can have my assistant put some stuff up, but no, that's a good question. So if you have an assistant and you are not home with your phone, how could they list for you?
You actually, well, they can list you don't have to list on, you can list on the website as well.
Okay, good to know.
So, yeah, you can. I just find that mobile is faster. They originally rolled out only mobile, then they went to websites. You can, and the flow is basically the same on the website. It's just faster on your phone. But yeah, and people do have virtual assistants too. That's fine. What is not okay is people use bots to follow and share. And you will get banned from Poshmark if you do that. If you see people like with 500K shares, you know that they're using a bot, and you will get kicked off of Poshmark for that. So don't do that. Don't use a sharing service. There's a lot of them out there.
No shortcuts, people. No shortcuts. Just hard work. Chrissy wants to know what ASC is. It is ASD as in dog.
Oh, okay.
Whoops, dog steaks. It is the big wholesale convention here in Vegas that happens twice a year that I speak at in both the spring and the summer. And it's an exhausting week because we spend the whole week at eBay Open. And what I do is I take notes what is new at eBay, and then I regurgitate them on Tuesday to they're mainly Amazon sellers at ASD, but they also want to be on other platforms. Like talk about tying it all together. They also want to be on other platforms, so they want to get on eBay. And so I'm the one that always teaches them about what's happening on eBay.
And I bet there are Poshmark sellers that do wholesale at ASD. I bet that's a target audience there.
So Craig says he saw someone with 2 million followers. Was her last name Kardashian?
Well, I mean, there are people that are like, there's, like, just like there's high eBay sellers out there that have, like a ton of listings, and so there, there's the Walmart of Poshmark too. It's.
So I saw some questions in the chat, but I think you guys helped each other. I don't think any questions are unanswered. So do me a favor, if any questions are unanswered, retype them, because I think I was watching. I think every question got answered. Okay. So it's pretty awesome watching this great webinar and then watching you guys help each other. And that's the whole point of everything I've ever done put together is this big network of sellers and buyers too that all work together to help each other, and it's very awesome. And I do love homework. I love giving it. I love participating.
Yeah, it would be great for everyone to have a little challenge. So definitely participate in that. Don't be afraid. And I see that Chris Nelson did ask a question that wasn't answered. If you offer free shipping discount, it would come out of your proceeds as well. Yes, that is correct. So it will come out. The $697 or the $180 discount will come out of the 20% as well. So.
And Chrissy said, fabulous webinar. Thanks, Nay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Nay will get the post up in the group for our homework. And oops. Oh, I said oops, and it was an awesome little play. Amazing webinar, Nay.
Thank you.
And we'll get everyone going. I'm definitely going to get some more stuff up as soon as I get done with these two events. And I want to, like I said, I get my messages like, hey, this friend of yours just sold something. Nay's constantly sending me her screenshots of her sales. I'm like, because I know I got some stuff.
Get on Poshmark.
I know I got some stuff on eBay that like these Levi's jacket and these high-end jeans that I think I'm in the wrong place.
Absolutely.
I think I got to give it Poshmark.
Poshmark is the place for those items.
Oh, here's a great question. My friend's customer received a package postage due. Okay, so I think what happens, Poshmark recently put, actually, I have a Poshmark here. Okay, yeah, they have a note on the label. I'm trying to hide the addresses here, but they have an actual note on the label. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so this was happening. They put a note on the label here. You can see that little fine print. It says, postal clerk, use the prepaid acceptance workflow in POS. APV determines postage, blah, blah, blah. Do not refuse or send these parcels with postage due. Because this was happening. It's a post office thing. They did not understand that they had a negotiated rate with Poshmark. So they were saying like, oh, well, this is like £4 and they only paid, $6.97 or whatever. So they were getting rejected and that should not have happened. So now they have a note on the label so that doesn't happen. So that was a post office thing that happened that should not have happened. They can take that up with Poshmark or the post office. So yeah, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why they put the note on the label now. Angela just showed up. So she's rewinding to start it. Oh, Chris said it's happened a few times. That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that's why they had to put the note on the right on the label, because a lot of post offices did not understand. They were refusing or sent or delivering it with postage due. So,
and that's the problem. I recall times when we started getting a discounted rate to shipping online, and the post office are like, "That's not enough money."
Yeah.
It's probably one of the worst trained staff, because they don't get, the people at the counter don't get training when things change.
Mm-hmm.
Back when we all had to go into the post office before printed out labels, they would hand me the new DMI, the new instruction manual, when it changed, because they said these words: "Jason, you will learn it before we ever do." So I would go back in with packages and go, no, you can't do it that way anymore.
Yeah.
Here's your new rules. And it's really just a failure from the top down. Not that I ever want to.
Well,
but they don't know.
Right. And that was a big problem for Poshmark to actually have to put a note on the label to the postal employees. That was a big problem, that a lot of packages were getting rejected and sent with postage due. So for them to have to actually put a note on the label, it was a big problem.
Yeah, but you chalk it up to, okay, just got to deal with it. So you can't sweat it, because that's something that's really out of your control if they're going to not know the procedures and the deals they've cut.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a thanks, Nay, applause, Nay, awesome webinar, Nay. All right, so those who are not going to eBay Open, I expect to see your homework starting to show up sooner than those of us that are. And let's get this going, because if you're not on a platform, and we're going to be talking other platforms as the rest of the year goes on, because it is all about diversifying, not putting all your eggs in one basket. Yeah. I see so many people in other Facebook groups who go, oh my God, eBay just kicked me off. And they did something bad, but they had no other platform they were selling on.
Yeah.
So their money stops instantly, and you can't do that.
And I've talked about, I might be doing a webinar down the road on different platform too that I've started selling on. So.
Oh, all right. Well, that was Joe wants 5 more thumbs up. So I guess we're not allowed to leave.
Thank you, everyone. I hope everybody learned a lot. I know I was talking a little fast trying to get through it all. It was a lot of information, but go back to the presentation and, and Nate,
I was going to ask you if you would do this on the slide where you had all the links for other places to get information. Mm-hmm. If you could write that post up with the clickable links, make it easy for everyone just to go there.
I'll put that in the secret beach. Yeah, absolutely. So
there you go. Thank you. And you also look fabulous. There you
go. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody, guess who is due to land in about 20 minutes? My mom. So I'm out of here. I got to go pick up my mom from the airport so we can start the festivities of eBay Open Week. So those of you who are coming, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you Sunday. Ask Juice Party on Sunday. And for the rest of you, I will be around. I will be keeping up on social media. So if you need something from me, if you find a tiki mug, hit me up. Bené's going to have all that information in the Secret Beach later today or tomorrow. And that way you can start on your homework and also reading the pages that she suggested to get other help for Poshmark. And if you never watched Lynn's Poshmark webinar, I think the two together are awesome bookends.
Yeah, her Poshmark, it has a lot of great information, and things have changed since then. So I emphasize it, but her information was a great webinar too. So definitely watch that. And yeah, thank you, everyone.
All right, cool. We're out here. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.